Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is going to be my TBR video for January. I am super stoked or excited about the video. This is the first one of the year, first one on my channel. So I did previously do my rolls the night before, just so I could have more time to find books to complete those, but some of the rolls you're gonna see have me, I guess, well, you'll see. Some of them are gonna require for me to do 2-day, but for one, I had to do some research and see how that's gonna fit in with some readathon books that I wanna do. So in part of this video also is going to have what I would read for some readathons, and there are a couple of them that I had to look at and dwindle down to because I really want to do all of them, honestly. There are a lot of amazing readathons out there from different channels, and I will discuss those later on in the video. And so if you hear barking, those are my dogs outside. They just bark at everything. But let's go ahead and see the first roll. Okay, so I have my little character right here. Mrs. Incredible. She is at start. She is ready. And then here's my die. And again, I'm going to roll 3 times. And yeah, so here is my first roll for January's TBR game. Okay, that is a 9. Okay, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, a prompt says the fates. Peek ahead at the next 3 cards and choose one. Okay. So the first one that I saw is Achilles. Read an award-winning book. The Huns. Retreat back 8 spaces. Can't do that one anyway. And Sleep Spell. Read a slow-paced book. I guess you can see those. I think I am going to pick Achilles. Read an award-winning book. Okay, so the book that I will be reading for this one is called Homegoing by Gayasi. I think that's how you pronounce the name, I'm not sure. But this book follows 2, I believe they're half-sisters that live in Ghana. But they both do not live in the same village, I believe. And one sister marries an English man and basically lives a life of comfort, and the other one sister gets invaded by the slave trade, I guess. People came over and took her, and she is now spending her life in that slave trade. And so it follows, I think it's 8 generations. Yes, 8 generations of just their families and how different they grow up. And that's basically the book. It is largely historical fiction, so that is something that I do enjoy reading, and this has been on my list for a while. So hopefully it's a good book. You know, this is something that does intrigue me. So anyway, that is number 1. Book number 1. And these just go right back into the pile, which I will do afterwards. Okay, roll number 2. Okay, that is a 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh no! Okay, so we have Gaston. So, like I said, villains have to pick. I have to pick 2 prompts for this one. Okay. The Emperor. Randomize a month. Pick a book published in that month. Okay. And the second one. Prisoner, you are stuck. Pick a second book from the last prompt I had. Great. Okay, so I would have to, in addition to an award-winning book, randomize a month from that book. Okay, so for roll number 2, I happen to hit Gaston. And he is a villain, and so that would just mean that I have to pick 2 prompts to combine to find a book. And so the first one that I pulled was The Emperor, and that is to randomize a month, and I pick a book published in that month. So I'm gonna go ahead and randomize the month, and since I'm using my phone as the camera, I brought my laptop and I will try to show the screen. Okay, so I'll try to zoom in from this part. Uh-oh. Yeah. So right now it's on the February, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to pick the random month and I'll show down here. So okay, and it says December, so I'll try to zoom in a little bit so you can see. If not, I am so sorry. Hopefully you can see that. The second card was Prisoner, I am stuck, so I need to pick a second book from the last prompt I had. So because I randomized the month, not only do I need to use December, but I also need to pick another award-winning book. So I'm gonna go ahead and consult my award-winning book list, and we'll pop in the book that I decide to read. Okay, so that took at least 30 minutes, honestly. I cannot find a book that I am interested in that is published in December. I mean, I haven't even found a book that was published in December from the awards list. I was looking at different types of awards, the Christie Award, and just other Newbery, just all of that. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and randomize another month because I could be here all day and I don't want to. So let me go ahead and pull up the random month generator. And if you have any books that you would recommend, it doesn't have to be specifically for December, but just award-winning books. I mean, I have a few, but I might need more. And so you can link them down in the comment or link them. You could put them in the comment section, and I would more than happy to add it to my list. But let's go ahead and pick another month. So this is where we are for, it said December. So I'm gonna randomize another month. Okay, so September, and I actually found quite a few Septembers. I'm gonna check right now in my journal. Do I have a September one? No, I do not. But I did see a couple of them on the Christie Awards list that seemed interesting. So I'm gonna go ahead and find one. So that took a while again. Again, none of the books that I have on my to-read list fit. A lot of books that I was interested in came out in February or in April. I think I saw a couple in May, and maybe like one or two in June and August. Other than that, like it was hard. So anyway, I had to go and look at some of the Christie Award winners, and one of them I saw that I was interested in is by Lisa Harris, and it's called Dangerous Passage. So I had to read a little bit of the synopsis, and apparently in this book it is it's a 3-part series. So it talks about this woman who is like a behavioral specialist, or someone who like investigates like behavior, I guess. It's like a detective. So a detective and behavioral specialist, I believe is the title. But she noticed she's investigating these 2 victims. They were both female, and they both have magnolia tattoos on their arms. I believe it's their arms, but they have tattoos. And she is trying to figure out who killed these 2 women. Are there anything, is there any correlation to this? And she teams up with this guy, and I'm guessing the whole series is just them trying to figure out who killed these 2 women, and I'm assuming there's going to be a romance that follows through this series. So that's all I know about it. I've never heard of the author, nor have I honestly read murder mystery series like this, so this will be my first one. So I'm really curious to see how I would react to these type of books. This is also, like I said, a Christie Award winner, so I'm curious to see, I guess, just like how good it is. So that will be my pick, and yeah. Last roll. $10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Last prompt. Genie, pick a book off, blindly pick a book off my shelf. Okay. Okay, so for the final roll, I got Genie. Blindly pick a book off my shelf. So, here's how we're gonna do this. Behind me, these are all the books that I have not read that I own. So I'm gonna blindly pick, and it's gonna be the first one that I touch. And I'm gonna do this one. It's the first one that I touch. It's got a glossy cover. What is it? Oh, joy. Okay, this is one of my lower rated books on my Goodreads, but that's okay. It is a pretty color though. Awesome. Okay, so I actually got And We're Off. And this is by Dana Schwartz. So this book is about a young girl, and it's a coming of age story, but it's about a young girl who is going on this trip to Europe, and I think it was an uncle who gave her this money to go on this trip. And so I know she has issues with her mother because I guess her mother expected her life to go in a different way. Well, as the girl is at the airport and getting ready to go on this trip, the mother decides that she wants to tag along too. So the girl and their mother are traveling through Europe, and I am interested because I like reading about traveling. Europe is one of the places that I really want to go. Yeah, so we'll see. It says back here that it's funny. It says it'll inspire some serious wanderlust. So we'll see about that. But anyway, I'm really curious, and hopefully it is a good book, and I will have a good synopsis for you afterwards. So, okay, so to recap, I have my 3 books: Homegoing, Dangerous Passage, and We're Off. So those are the 3 books that I have gotten from my TBR game. And now I will tell you the readathons I'm hoping to participate in. So I have my journal behind me. Okay. And so I wrote down a couple of things that I would like to do for these readathons. So the first readathon, or I'm going to do a yearly challenge. And so that one I will do Chantel's yearly Read Your Books Shelf Challenge. And I will link all the people I talk about today in my description box. But she is coming out with a really fun one this year. I mean, last year was fun, but like this year is, I think, a really cool twist that what she's doing. But she is, she has her prompts based off of the book from the previous book that you read. So it's really a make it your own kind of challenge. So for that one, it says January, a book that starts with the word a or the. So for this book, I'm going to choose The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis. It is the second book chronologically in the series of the Chronicles of Narnia. There we go. So the series of the Chronicle of Narnia, and that one is going to be my January pick, and I'm going to do that one on audiobook. All right, so the last thing I'm going to talk about today is the readathon that I'm going to join this month, and that is Ring in the New Year, and this is by Paperback and Ponytails and her friend, I think it's Bethany's books. I will link her down in the description box, but those two are co-hosting the Ring in the New Year challenge, and it is a month-long challenge. So I wrote down the prompts here in my journal, and then I will tell you the book that I will be reading for that. First prompt is to reread an old favorite. And for that, I'm going to pick Mission Drift, The Unspoken Crisis Facing Leaders, Charities, and Churches. And this is the one that, and this is by Peter Greer and Chris Horst. And this book I actually read earlier this past year, and it's about how different organizations, they mention several like charities or just organizations in here that were founded off of biblical principle, but how some of them drifted away from their true mission, and one of those was the YMCA, as an example that have drifted away from their current mission, why they were founded, and it just talks about what went wrong, like what happened, why did it go away from its original purpose, and then they've given examples of organizations that stayed true to their mission and compared both. So it deep dives into several different ones, and then it tells you in the end, are they holding true to their mission statements, or are they away from those mission statements, hopefully I explained that well. Then it helps, you work on your organization. So if that's something that, you find yourself that you are taking on a leadership role or being a part of an organization, it helps you with practical steps on how to make sure that you keep on track with fulfilling the purpose and not getting sideways, not being bought out by culture and so to speak. So I hope that makes sense. But currently I'm thinking about another season in life, mostly an opportunity and my job. And so this is something I want to look through, read through, and anyway, so that is Mission Drift. Okay, so number 2 is a new author debut novel released during the last year. And Katie mentioned that it's okay if it wasn't in 2022. It could be, further to 2020, the year 2020. And so the book I chose is another reread, but this one is Sisters in Arms by Kaya Alderson. And I used to subscribe to Book of the Month, which that's how I heard about this author, but since then it's just found out it wasn't for me. That's okay, but this was her debut novel that came out in July of 2021. So but I really like this book. Oops. By the way, it's got a really pretty color, like that mustard color. Oh, that was really, really, really nice. But this talks about 2 women, African American women, and they both go into the army, and they're actually part of the first all-black female regiment. I don't know if it tells you the number per se, but oh yeah, here it is, the 6888 battalion. And so these 2 women, they come from different backgrounds. One is a pianist, is trying to get into this school, this college school, and the other one, I forgot what the other one did. I don't remember what the other woman did. It doesn't really tell you, but they come from both different backgrounds, and so they decided to join this battalion, and talks about what they went through and down to their deployment and everything. And I actually liked it. I didn't think it was, from what I remembered, it wasn't brutal or anything like that, but it was a good sister kind of comrade story. Yeah, that's the book I'm choosing for that prompt. The next is feature a new theme, new beginnings, new hope, etc. So from this book, and I'm going to pick And We're Off, because it's a coming of age, they're going to new places, and hopefully the mom and daughter relationship will have a new beginning, or they have a new hope to rekindle that relationship. The next one was participate in the buddy read, Genesis 1 through 11, and I will be doing that. And then you have your rest of reading Genesis on your own, and I will participate in that. The next one I am going to talk about is, and I'm going to skip the free space to the end, so popular book about 30 years ago. I looked at my Goodreads, and again, Katie said that it could be a little bit 2 years before, or 2 years before 1993, or 2 years after, or up to that. They're pretty lenient, but I didn't have a book that was that close. So I looked at her recommendations, and I'm gonna do it. I've been very scared to start this one, but if I get around to it, I will read A Voice in the Wind by Francine Rivers. And I know that this has been hyped, this has been a favorite. I know that they said if you like historical fiction, you'll love it. If you like Francine, you'll love it. But I am a bit nervous because I did like Redeeming Love, but not as much as I know a lot of people liked it. I still gave it like a 4-star, but it was I guess the topic was just really hard for me. And I know like that was the point and everything, and it's a, you know, beautiful redemption story. But I guess just for me, it was just too hard. It was kind of hard to hear, and I did audiobook with that one. But you know, I still rated it good, but probably not as high as like a lot of other people. I gave it a 4 stars. So sorry if, you know, that's like your favorite book. But I did like her other book called The Atonement Child, and that one was I liked a lot better. Again, it was a hard topic, but to me it felt, well, it was a hard topic, but I did rate that one a little higher. And I also did that one as an audiobook. So I'm hesitant on this one, especially when they said like there are some scenes in it that are pretty sad because it's all about like persecution and like what happens to the Christians during the Roman period. So I'm intrigued, but I'm also just like, I don't know if I'm ready to cry, because I think other people said that they cried during it. So we're putting it on there. I'm just going to go with it, and I really do hope that I like it. So anyway, that one is going to be the popular book 30 years ago. Then the next one is new series, and that one I'm going to pick Dangerous Passage by Lisa Harris, because it is a new series for me, and hopefully I like it. There's 2 more books in it, but if I don't, that's okay. And then number in the title, and this one I'm going to choose 3 Hours, and 3 Hours is it's a historical fiction about a blizzard that happened it was the Midwest, but it was a terrible blizzard that happened, and it came out of nowhere. And then it's just going to talk about the events. It talks about, and this one might be a tearjerker too. Right, that's the word. Because it talks about the children, some of them walking home from school from the blizzard, and then others being shut in during this terrible blizzard. So that one could very much well be sad. The last prompt, what I'm going to talk about, is the free space. For free space, they said we can pick whatever we want. So my husband bought me this book for Christmas. It's called The Hidden Prince. It's by Tessa Afshar. It's her newest book, and I'm really excited. This one I hope to get to. And again, it's got a beautiful, beautiful, like mustardy color. But yeah, that's the book that I was really, 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 really excited for. So this one would be in place of my free space, and hopefully I will get to this one. So here we go. So those are my list of readathon books, and I'm sorry that this was kind of a long video, and I'm extremely tired. Did a lot of research today, but that's okay. I'm gonna have a fun reading month, and I hope to get all of these done. But yeah, so thank you for joining me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.